Well, welcome everybody to Monday night's Team Up Call. I am not Terry Luongo, so please do not be disappointed. Our fearless leader is off saving the world on the West Coast. And she asked me last week to introduce Judy Strickler. And without any hesitation, I said, game on, I'm in. Because I will share, before I give Judy's bio, I have to share a story. And I believe it's a story all of you will resonate with. I was 6 months into the business going to my first conference in Long Beach. And I was Terry Luongo's frontline rep. And when you go to a conference with Terry, you are immersed in this whole new world and culture. And so to say I was overwhelmed was an understatement. But we get to the Team Up organizational dinner, and there's a lot of emotions. I'm nervous and I'm scared. And the one person that I remember the most was Judy Strickler. Judy has this aura about her that I think most of you who know her can attest to. And it's an aura of positivity. It's an aura of light. She's a fearless warrior with a warm heart and super, super compassionate. And I remember thinking to myself, if this is what this community is about, I'm all in. So Judy, I need you to know that sometimes the best ways you make people aren't always seen and felt, or you don't always know right away, but I need to tell you thank you, because you are what this community embodies in the spirit of all things good. And you just continue to be a constant for all of us. And I appreciate you. I'm going to give a little background on you because I think people need to know, not only are you wise and funny, you have such a resume about you. And the word wellness warrior comes to mind. You know, I understand, Judy, that at a young age, you made the decision you wanted to be a nurse. And you put a lot of time and energy, your resume of what you did as a nurse. I haven't seen a resume quite like this in all the specialty fields in the 25 years that you were in nursing. But what I came to understand, just kind of getting to know your resume deeper, was that you had a real passion. You had a very healthy dissatisfaction with the status quo. Meaning it's not you didn't want to go change everything, but you always knew there was a better way. And it led you to the concept of holistic healing. Here you were, a nurse with all this background, but you knew that there were better ways. And then lands the Juice Plus community. And lo and behold, you imparted on this community immediate success, being nominated several times for the most prestigious awards at the Eltons. But bigger than that, you can land every award out there, but it's the way you make people feel. It's the education you deliver and what you stand for that leaves a legacy to all of us. And so for those of you who are joining tonight, please record this in your mind and heart. Take great notes, because what you're about to listen to is an example that we should all follow. And Judy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Have to get a Kleenex. You make me want to cry. You're so sweet. Thank you so much, my friend. All my friends. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now with you so that we can get started, because we don't want to waste any time. Is that right? All right. We don't want to waste a bit of time. There I am. Okay. So I need to just shrink this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so again, thank you for that wonderful, gracious introduction, Jamie. Thank you so much. You're just so precious. I want to start right away, so I don't want to waste anybody's time on here tonight, but I do want to tell you that I am wanting you to think about the choices that you can make every day to make a difference, not only in your life, but everyone else's life. So let's just go ahead here. Let's just see what happens. Whoops, I'm trying to change it. It won't let me move my slide. Oh, that's not good, is it? Let's try that. Whoops, I don't know, honey. Can't even find my cursor. Any idea what that's about?
It changed.
It changed, Judy.
I know, but how do I get this thing on the top off? Huh, it's going backwards. Let's try something else. How about if I get rid of this and just go like this? Can everybody see that all right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Let's go like this. Okay, so the choice is yours. If you knew a way to get well and stay well, would you make that choice and would you do what it would take? So health is what we're going to talk about tonight. And it's not just one thing. Health is everything. It's brain health, gut health, immune health, and it's everything is included. And a lot of times someone says, well, let's just talk about gut health or let's talk about brain health. It's all included. Whatever you do, whatever you exercise, sleep, eat, it all affects everything. So it's really pretty simple. So let's talk about getting well and staying well. Can you see the slides okay, Jamie? Okay, this is my little one 3 years ago. And this is why I do what I do. I do it for my family. I started this research really kind of selfishly, wanting to figure out how to keep my family well. And it just graduated into wanting to keep the world well and help people get away from the doctors, get away from the sickness industry and move into the wellness industry. So this is what it takes: pure air, pure water. Now the air, most of the air that's polluted is in your house, not on the outside, 90% in your house, because that comes from all the cosmetics you use and the cleaners you use and the carpet foam and whatever's in your house. That's where the pollution comes from. We'll talk about drinking pure water. We talk a lot about that in our Shred 10. But it's so important to drink water every day. Just water, lemon water is good. But when you put something in water, your body sees that it's food. So you have to drink plain water, and the best time to drink it is 2 times. As soon as you wake up, drink a quart, and drink it between your meals, not ever with meals. It dilutes your digestive juices. The next thing is pure living food, and that's what we'll talk about mostly tonight. Proper elimination. When you eat something, always remember you have to think about what's coming out, or you're just going to blow up. A lot of us worry about what we're putting in our mouth, but we don't think about what's coming out. When a baby eats, they get rid of it pretty soon. That's the way we should be. Exercise. Every day, do something. My husband and I like to walk every morning in the fresh air. But whatever you like, do at least 30 minutes of exercise every day. Get sunshine. You don't have to take a vitamin D capsule maybe. Just go out in the sun for 10 minutes a day. That's all you need. That's enough sun to keep you healthy. Also, adequate rest. We are going to talk about that a little bit too, but it's very important that you go to sleep between 2 and 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. That's when your body's healing. If you wait till midnight or 1 o'clock or 2 to go to sleep, your body has no chance to repair itself. You've got to go to bed early to bed, early to rise. And then positive thinking. And what I mean by that is not sitting in a corner humming, but in the Bible it says whatsoever is true, honest, just, pure, lovely, good report, virtuous, praiseworthy, think on those things. And I doubt you find those on the TV set. So you need to spend some time just thinking about the good things in your life. In the beginning, God created man. The Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Well, little do most people know that breath was pretty powerful. In fact, we're made up of 96% of airborne elements and only 4% of earthborne elements. So your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Think about what your body does every day. The heart will beat 100,000 times. Your blood will travel over 168,000 miles. You'll breathe 23,000 times. You'll eat over 3 pounds of food, unless you're on the Shred 10. And then you'll drink at least 3 pounds of liquid, mostly water, hopefully. You will turn in your sleep 25 to 30 times. And some of you may realize that sometimes you wake up and you have a crook in your neck because you didn't move enough that night. You'll speak over 48,000 words. For me, it's 148,000. And you will use some 7 million brain cells. At least we hope you use some of those. So what you do to your body affects everything right here. how food affects our genes. Because you eat so often, your food is the single most important way to maintain your integrity or to destroy it. It's not what your genes do to you, it's what you do to your genes. In the beginning, we used to eat God's food, and now more people are eating man's food. There's such a difference. Health is normal. You see, the human body is self-repairing, self-defending, and self-healing. We've just got to treat it right. So what does self-care really mean? I think it stands for start eating live food, creating accelerated, revitalized energy. That's what we want every day. So in Genesis 1:29, you see he made the food before he made us. It says that God gave us every seed-bearing plant on the face of the earth. Seed-bearing, that would be like the nuts on the tree, the grains, the legumes, those are all seeds, the fruits and the vegetables. That will be yours for food. Well, Thomas Edison, I know most of you know who he is. He invented the light bulb.
What are you doing? Come
But
on.
he also said that the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and heal diseases with nutrition. And these are just some of the foods I got off my tower garden, and some lemons I got off my tree one day, and the strawberries are also from my tower garden, and we'll talk about that later. So the thing I want to share with you is this is kind of the food pyramid that I kind of live by and go by and eat. It's mostly plant-based. And one of the things that is I want you to understand is that most of the time we eat for only 3 reasons, and that's for distraction, recreation, and escape. But, you know, when you eat food, I want you to think of 2 things. Don't think of the protein thing. We're going to get into that. But think of 2 things. I want every food you eat should contain fiber and water. And when we're going to go to Juice Plus in a little bit, that contains fiber, and we add the water. But otherwise, all this whole food you see on this food pyramid is just fiber and water with the nutrients. So let's look at some of the food we eat. Sometimes we eat too much cooked food, and nothing wrong with eating cooked food. But how many of you have ever planted a garden? Do you ever cook the seeds before you plant them? Well, of course you don't, because that would kill them. How many of you have ever heard of warming up blood before you give a transfusion as a nurse? You would never warm it up in a microwave. That did happen once, and that patient didn't live. You see, that microwave kills the life in that food. So how about feeding pasteurized milk to a baby calf? That doesn't work either. In about a week or so, the baby calf is dead. Your food has to contain the live enzymes for it to work in your body. Now, if it's cooked food, it still has nutrition in it, but it doesn't have the live enzymes. So every time you eat, I want to make sure that you eat something raw when you're eating your meals. We think a lot about proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and you know every food has that in it. Every food God made has proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in it. We also know that we don't think enough about the micronutrients like the vitamins and the minerals, the enzymes, the phytonutrients, and the fiber. That's really where we should be concentrating our thoughts about our nutrition, our fuel that we're eating every day. So let's go on to the next one. Well, was your mama right? Was she right when she kept telling you eat your vegetables? Well, your mama was right. Plants not only are good for you, but they may even save your life. That was in a Newsweek magazine. I believe it was in 2003 already. So they knew that fruits and vegetables were important. And there are 4,500 studies that show that most diseases could be avoided with better nutrition, namely plants and fruits and vegetables. So we know the truth. We know what's out there. Another thing that we have to understand, that every bite you take is either fighting a disease or feeding it. So you either pay now for your good nutrition, or you'll pay later to try to have a doctor fix what you messed up. However you want to do that. So eat food, not too much, mostly plants. That's what Michael Pollan said in his book, In Defense of Food. There are 5 ways to begin permanent healthy lifestyle. First way is to stop the food poisoning. The second way is to curb your food addictions and get out of that pleasure trap. The next one is to eat for calorie density, and I'll explain that. Again, I talked a little bit already about going to sleep, getting plenty sleep and go early, and exercise every day. So the pleasure trap, addictions, what would that mean? What does that have to do with? Well, recreational and prescription drugs, vaccines. If you've been watching the news at all, California is about to lose their choice in vaccines. It's a very, very scary time. It will be coming to a state near you soon. And I would recommend you kind of follow and see what's going on. That is not a good situation. What about tobacco addiction, alcohol addiction, whatever it might be? Maybe it's that you're consuming too many animal products, because food poisoning really is from animal products and oil. So when I talk about food poisoning, I'm not talking about salmonella or E. coli or anything like that. I am actually talking about the foods that most people eat. So meat consumption, dairy and egg consumption, fried foods, oils, salt. I'm talking about table salt, but Himalayan salt, Celtic sea salt, those are okay. They have minerals in it. So a difference between salt, just for an example, is sodium chloride is the salt on the table, that white stuff, and Himalayan salt and Celtic sea salt contain almost 82 minerals. So it's quite different when you use those. Refined carbohydrates like flour and sugar, artificial colorings and flavorings. So I tell people get off the sofas, and that stands for sugar, oil, flours, alcohol, and salt. So those are some things you can start looking at changing. And when you get onto the Shred 10, there's a lot of those things that will disappear. So what does calorie density actually mean? Calorie density means that you want to eat foods that have little calories that are very dense. So if you ate 500 calories of oil, your stomach would not be very full. And do the same with cheese. And there's a great book out called The Cheese Trap, how detrimental that is to your health. If you ate 500 calories of meat, you're still not really full. Maybe beans and rice and the potatoes, you're getting a little better there. And then you add the fruits and vegetables. Now you're satiated. You're happy because you're satisfied. You're full. You're done eating. So that's why whole plant foods keep you lean and satisfied, because they fill your stomach up. You don't need those other calories in there. So these are just a few of my heroes that I did. As Jamie said, I've done a lot of research into nutrition, and it's ongoing for the last 30-some years. So I got this from my mom, and my grandmas, of course, were great examples of that. They taught me a lot about, one of my grandma used to go to a health resort. Imagine such a thing. And my other grandma always told me, eat carrots for your eyes, and, eat your rhubarb so you go to the bathroom, and different things like that. I grew up on the farm in Kansas. And Wigmore, Dr. Shelton, Bernard Jensen, he was the first guy that talked about drinking juices, eating real food. Harvey and Marilyn Diamond, some of you may remember them. They wrote a book called Fit for Life. And John Robbins, Dr. Centello, the maker of Juice Plus. Dean Ornish, the first guy who was able to lower heart disease with food, plant food. Joel Furman, Michael Klepper, Dr. John McDougall, Caldwell Esselstyn, Alan Goldhammer, Doug Loud, Jeff Novick, Anthony Lim, Chef AJ, Kathy Fisher, Barbara O'Neill. All of these are great resources. So I'll share with you a little bit about my story. Of course, I had to put a picture of my kids doing the same thing I was doing. The picture on the left is a picture of my sisters and I and my brother. We had just dug potatoes for the year. We'd have enough potatoes to last all year. And our reward was to eat some watermelon. So we were very happy. So of course I got my 4 kids on a curb one day and said, here you go, eat some watermelon. I need this picture. So we had fun. So life-changing events. Yes, I grew up as a Kansas farmer's daughter out in a little house in the prairie. I had a very healthy childhood. I had 12 years of perfect attendance in school. We grew almost all the food we ate up there on the farm, preserved it for the winter. And we worked real hard. We never sat around watching TV because we didn't have a TV. I always knew that I wanted to be an RN since I was a little girl. Like Jamie said, about 2 years old, I decided that. 3 years old, I kept talking about it. And in 1974, I graduated as an RN. But then I found I went to school to be an RN. I found the Golden Arches, and I found all kinds of unhealthy lifestyle things, and I kind of got involved in that. My health started deteriorating. I always say that is self-inflicted nonsense. Stands for sin, I guess. Self-inflicted nonsense. Yeah, I did it to myself because I knew what being healthy was. Well, I got married, had a family, 4 children, started going back to natural healing, starting to join a natural vitamin company, wanted to get back to the farm, which I did. As a nurse, I started getting my CEUs all at alternative and preventative places. I didn't use a doctor too often. I used a chiropractor for my pediatrician, and my children were all very, very healthy, didn't have any really medical issues. But in 1997, I worked as a nurse from newborn intensive care to hospice to sports medicine, and ended up as a school nurse, and that's when my eyes were open to the health of our children. And so I found a PE coach gave me a cassette tape about Juice Plus. I wasn't interested, but when I listened to it, I totally went back and got enough for a whole family. We started on these plant powders, and we found true health. 22 years ago, I quit nursing to do Juice Plus, and my family has been such a blessing. It has been such a blessing to my family for these last 22 years, and all my grandbabies are Juice Plus babies, and the 3 on the way too. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, we have an answer for you. It's called plant powders, and they're very, very powerful. And on this plate, you can see some of the complete shakes. That's 16 or 17 different foods just in the shakes, and the other powders, 3 little piles, are 30 whole foods in those foods, and then the omega capsules are there. And then we also have our tower gardens you can grow. And that's wonderful because I can have produce all year long around the whole season, the winter crops and the summer crops. Anybody can grow them. So this is what Juice Plus is. It actually bridges the gap. You can see the pictures of the capsules there and the complete, the bars. So there's 30 whole foods that are in the Juice Plus capsules. There's pictures of them right there. There's also Juice Plus omegas, and we skip the fish because fish don't make omegas. They get it from the plankton that's in the ocean. And our omegas are made of all plant products, and they contain both not just the omega-3, but 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Wonderful product. I love chewing those capsules. I never swallow them. I love chewing them. I love the taste of them. They taste kind of like orange. And then our complete shakes and bars really are like healthy on the go. It fuels your day with fewer empty calories. I keep some in my car. I have them all the time with me in case I get hungry. They're protein. They contain protein, fiber. And by the way, nobody in the history of the world has ever died from protein deficiency. So don't worry about not getting enough protein, because if you're eating food, you're getting enough protein. Fiber, all the plant food, vegetarian, everything's pretty much vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, non-dairy, low glycemic. The research has shown, the proof is out there. We have over 38 research studies. I believe if you add this up, there's almost 52, because some of them have been done over and over in different countries, different places. But we know that it's bioavailable. It gets into your system, into your bloodstream very rapidly. It reduces all the damage going on in your body. It balances out your immune system, which lowers your stress. It helps protect your DNA. In fact, one of the studies that was done showed on gene expression that in just 8 weeks, 1,600 genes had a positive change in inflammation and DNA repair. That is huge, y'all, in 8 weeks. So you start taking your Juice Plus and you say, I don't feel anything. Don't worry, your body knows what's going on. Something great's going on inside. And it also reduces systemic inflammation, supports healthy skin, healthy gums, and on it goes. So Children are more harmed by poor nutrition than alcohol, drugs, and tobacco combined. What are we going to do about that? Does your child look like this? It's your choice. How about you? Which one of those looks like you? We have a Healthy Start for Family, which is the best thing I believe Juice Plus has, and it's been over 15 years. We have almost 500,000 families now taking Juice Plus that have received this free for their children. And all of them have such positive results. 71% eating less fast food and soft drinks, taking fewer drugs over the counter or prescription, missing less days of school, drinking more water, eating more real food. That's huge. And then, of course, we talk about the Tower Garden. We have 5 of them, and I just love them. 2 of them are full of strawberries, in fact. They use 98% less water, which is important here in California, 90% less space, 30% more yield of crops, and they grow 3 times faster. So eat food, mostly, not too much, but mostly plants. That's all that we're asking you to do. And remember that eating well is a form of self-respect. So when you're thinking about grabbing that addictive food, think again. You respect yourself more than that. You want to be healthy. How many of you ever seen somebody like this sitting on the street and then with the sign that says hungry and broke? Well, thank God we have something that can change both of those things. In our company, we not only can help feed you real food, we can help encourage you to drink more water. We'll help build relationships. That's what Juice Plus is all about, building relationships. We can help you afford the necessities you need. Plants heal your body. And remember that disease and poverty are really a prison that people are living in. So please share this information with the people that you love and know. Please know that there's also a way to make an income with this. If you pay that $50, you can become a partner in our business and share this with your family and friends. Don't keep this gift to yourself. Juice Plus is a company with a heart. Jay Martin, our president, is a president with a heart. He's amazing. His mission statement is to build a stable and lasting company that will help as many people in the world realize their dreams by inspiring healthy living around the world. So please join us. Join us on this mission because there's so much we can do, and take it around the world. That's me in the purple shirt right there, planting gardens in Africa to help the world eat better food and be healthy so that they might live out the passion that God put them here on earth for. So thank you all for your time.
Wow, Judy, that last picture. Wow. Thank you for that. Very touching and daring. And I learned so much. I cannot believe the amount of information. You got to keep sharing that information with us. 16,000 different, wow. Blown away. Guys, how many of you would agree that this information is important to continue to share? And good thing it's recorded, because it is a great opportunity to pass this along to the people you love that deserve to hear it. Judy, thank you for all of this.
You're welcome.
Hugs and kisses. Thank you guys for everything. Have a great Monday night. I know you have places, some team calls to go to. Judy, thank you again. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Thank you.